Okay, so before I begin the presentation, I'll introduce the team. So this is Vincent, Mahmood, and Julian, and we're all SFU students. So today I'll present to you Cosmos, and our goal is to be a decentralized platform as a service. So the current problems we see with the current platforms is there is a single point of failure. So for example, if a platform is hosted on AWS and Amazon decides to stop working for some reason, then every single application on that platform will also be affected. Availability issues. So for example, if there is someone who is far away from a data center, or if that current data center is being overloaded, then the data will be slower to arrive to the client. Lack of control for the user. So the user can't adjust some specific configurations. For example, if AWS offers load balancing and the platform does not, the user does not have control over that. And there's no recourse for outages. So the user cannot do anything if there's an outage other than keep refreshing and hope that it works next time. So what we offer is that we are open source, so the client will have more control over their application. We will be decentralized, so there won't be a single point of failure, and it will scale efficiently through two different ways. So the client can scale either through, they can scale their CPU, or they can separate it and scale their database separately. It's going to be confidential. Information on the blockchain will be secure, and it would be cost-friendly. So one thing we found pretty interesting was that small startups were able to, without funding, they're able to use an old device and support the network to earn tokens that they can reuse for their current project.
So for a project, we use Bluzelle. For our database, of course, we use IPFS, Filecoin, and Stakecoin for storage. And for decentralized cloud computing, we can use Sonam, Golem, or Exec, or ELF, or whatever cloud computing companies are arriving later. So basically, with the application, we have Cosmos, which is our app. And our app is going to be run on a decentralized computer. So, for example, Sonam. And then for our database and all the applications that are going to be hosted on Cosmos, they'll be using Bluzelle. And for file storage, all the applications, as well as Cosmos, will be using IPFS. So how our application works is that the users deploy their code onto Cosmos, and then our database stores all the metadata of all of our applications, but the actual files are actually stored on the decentralized data storage system like IPFS.
Alright, now I'll show the demo, and I'll tell you guys a little bit more. At this level, we're allowing users to host and retrieve all their decentralized content that is hosted on IPFS. And by utilizing Bluzelle, we're able to index those files, so we'll be able to retrieve them. Whatever. So let me just quickly here. Yeah. So just as it comes up, basically this interface later on we're going to use Git, but for now we can just choose a file. We will choose one file for now, or let's just choose the demo one instead. And then we can upload it. And right away, you can see it's hosted on IPFS. There's a lot of backend code for it to actually come to this point. And this is our decentralized, and we basically have IPFS running right here. And to show you how IPFS itself works, I'll show you some of this Bluzelle here. So I've set it up. And this is our node, which all of this will be automated later on, but for now, we can just go on here. We can see that we can get this data and put it back here. And then we can get that HTML file that so this is an index. We'll allow people to index their IPFS files for now, but later on, if we choose or we have anything else to store, like data storage, we'll be able to use it. For now, it's just indexing. Yeah, and for dApps as well, and all that stuff.
So we're open for questions if you guys have any.
Okay, thank you. go a little bit quick.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to run through what I understood you did. So you first uploaded a file, went to IPFS, and then you also stored an object somewhere that had a pointer to the key in Bluzell,
Yeah,
which
so-
actually was a pointer to the IPFS information.
Correct.
So it was a pointer to a pointer, basically.
Basically, what even if IPFS, I don't know if it's working or not, but even if IPFS, yeah, IPFS also does the same thing. If you want to host multiple folders or whatever, you go in and you say this file is a hash, and you put that hash to the. So basically, we have a root hash, and under that hash, we can keep track of all the files. But for now, just because of the demo, we knew we would take a lot of time to demo the whole thing. We just use an index, exactly like you explained it as well. So later on, actually, this is just being enthusiastic or whatever. But later on, we actually want to have it. I'm going to use it at home and stuff, but like we want to have it scale up as well. Because right now it's a little bit slower, but it does present a lot of advantages later on.
Just a second question. How do you plan to use the decentralized computing resources like Golem or
Sonam.
Yeah, how do you
Yep, so the decentralized computing of Golem or Sonam is basically going to be used to handle all the computing power for all the web apps that are required, as well as routing for Cosmos. So like the thing with Bluzell and these decentralized computing companies is that you can scale up on the fly. So like if you need more computing power, you can just pay a little bit more, and then you can send a job out to the market, and then you'll get more data storage, more computing power right to your app in real time. So it's infinitely scalable. Yeah.
Any more questions? No? Okay, excellent. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.